Head should roll. Trump's team's shocking war plan leak. Spurs. So wait, it was real then. It was 100% real.
Shocking new revelations about sensitive U.S. intelligence. The Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, reporting he accidentally received top-secret war plans from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth after he was included in a group chat on the encrypted messaging platform Signal.
This just in, editor-in-chief
So he got added to a group chat that he wasn't supposed to be in?
Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg says he was accidentally texted war plans.
Goldberg was added to a Signal chat with some of the most senior national security members of the Trump administration.
The vice president, the CIA director, the director of national intelligence, the secretary of state, the White House chief of staff, and more, discussing what we can only assume to be top secret plans.
About the planning for the recent bombing of the Houthis that started on March 15th.
He was convinced it wasn't real, that maybe this was an AI prank until the bombs actually started falling.
Goldberg says he didn't think the chat was real until the planned attack actually took place. Goldberg
That's really bad.
Exited the chain. A National Security Council spokesman confirmed that the thread was authentic.
If that's true, that's bad.
And they're investigating. Folks,
oh yeah, dude, it's so easy. It'll be so easy to find out who added him. There's no way. Horrible look for Trump's admin. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. They should have tighter security, but I do. So, okay, a couple things. Was this chat specifically for this issue? That's an important thing. To find out if the purpose of this group chat goes beyond the scope of this individual issue. And the reason why I want to know that is because, let's assume motives here. Okay, so there's one angle, which is it's just an honest mistake. Person fucked up. Sure, it happens. Maybe that's what happened. I mean, it happens, but it's still unacceptable. And yes, whoever was responsible for this needs to face consequences, obviously. This is a bad look. This is really bad for national security. Yes, this is definitely bad. Angle 2 is that this is intentional. That somebody from the inside added the person intentionally. Some malicious act that they did it in order to have a reporter leak information. So that's why I want to know, is the chat room specifically for this issue? Because it doesn't make sense for the reporter to only sit on this issue. I feel like, wouldn't you just keep waiting and just keep farming until you have the info? I guess the other thing too is he didn't want them to go after him, but you could have just kept farming intel if you were actually trying to do investigate. If you were the journalist, yes, my intentions are pure. I wanted to do investigate because they as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, they leaked it. Right, they actually leaked the logs from the actual chat room. So if that's the case, why would he leak? If he's going, I'm just a concerned citizen and I wanted to let everybody know that they let me in here. Why would you leak the logs? Why would you leak the logs if that was if that was your only intention? If you wanted to, why wouldn't you farm more logs? Right? If you actually had serious malicious intent or you wanted to really get them, why wouldn't you farm the logs more? Which is why I want to know, is this a one issue chat where the issue, I mean, they're done with the chat after this thing's done, basically. They leaked the logs after everything had played out, but he also told the government, first that it happened. Yeah, but why would he still leak the logs? Why would he still leak it? The chat name is called Houthi PC Small Group. Okay, so it was individual issue. So he had nothing else to gain, basically. So it was the perfect chance to leave and execute because he already had everything that he could have possibly needed from the group. Okay, now it kind of makes sense why he would leak it because he already has everything. So there's no reason to farm more. Possibly.
Not government-approved platforms to transmit classified information. Think folks would know that. And the fact that defense officials are conducting an intelligence operation on an app is dangerous. Meanwhile, Donald Trump claims he had no knowledge of these events.
Mr. President, your reaction to the story in The Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic.
Yep.
That was his takeaway. Joining me.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. He might not know. He might not actually be involved in that because if you're the president, you would just delegate tasks, right? Oh, we want to deal with this issue. You guys take care of that. Go make a group and take care of it. Go get whoever you think you need. So he probably wasn't even personally involved in the micromanagement of it. Because why would you want to be in like freaking 50 chat rooms, right? You just give it to somebody like that you delegate to. So like, even if this like, you know, and I'm not trying to say like this is 100% like this, even though this isn't like, might not be actually Trump's fault, somebody still fucked up. Either someone fucked up or there's a mole. Both are bad. Right, like it needs to be addressed either way. Either it was intentional sabotage, or the person just was
senior director of the White House Situation Room under President Obama.
Person fucked up, which is a terrible fuck up.
Welcome you here. I want to throw up for you as sort of a how should we call it, a baseball card, if you will, of the Trump officials included in this Signal group chat. You've got JD Vance, Vice President, Mike Waltz, National Security Advisor, Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State.
So who let him in?
Gabbard, DNI, John Ratcliffe, CIA, Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff, Steve Witkoff, Special Envoy to the Middle East.
It's not a fuck up. It's a media operation. I mean, what's the proof behind it?
Goldberg, Editor-in-Chief of the Atlantic.
Right, like I'll believe that when I have proof. So based on the fact that this was a specific chat room for this specific, and that there was nothing left to milk by Jeffrey Goldberg, most likely scenario is that it was just a fuck up. I think that's probably like a 50% chance.
So, like one of these things
Pete
is not like the
Hegseth
others.
did it.
Could you?
Well, like big fucking L on Pete Hegseth then. That's huge.
Share with us
That's bad.
Why this is a problem.
Very
Because
bad.
I think some people are saying, well, I don't understand what the big deal is. It's a big deal.
Yes, it's
well, we need to find out who did
actually. In my job as the White House Situation Room Senior Director, I was responsible for managing those conference rooms that are famous from photographs of national security meetings. But a more important job that I had was leading a team of individuals who made sure that there was...
You know what? That would be fucking 1 million IQ, Dockerbert. Dude, I want to believe that because that's the most interesting. That's the most interesting theory. I think that's probably like maybe like 10% chance. But if that's the case, that would be some movie shit. Like, it was intentional. Like, they intentionally allowed this leak. Like, they knew it was. They were kind of like, whatever. Like, this information is not that important. But they were trying to find leakers. That'd be fucking hilarious. If it's to find, is it to find like, okay, if we make a mistake, if we intentionally make a mistake, but it looks like we made a big fuck up, but we actually don't care that much about it, but it's a big, it's a huge fuck up, then we can expose who would possibly betray us. That would be fucking huge if that was true.
Secure government.
That would be crazy.
Equipment, devices, platforms.
But again, I think that's like maybe like a 10% chance.
Use by anybody who would attend these interagency National Security Council meetings at the principals and deputies level. And by available, I mean 24/7 at the home, at the office, in a car, on a plane. So the equipment was available to them within steps of anywhere they were. For them to be using, ostensibly encrypted platform on non-secure phones is really unconscionable.
So let's put up for folks the Atlantic screenshot of the group chat text. And so what some of this was being conveyed here. Celebrating the strike itself. You've got JD Vance. Excellent. John Ratcliffe, a good start. Mike Waltz gives the fist emoji, American flag emoji, flame emoji. So I guess.
You guys think this is sus? What do you guys think? Sus? What do you guys think? Sus? Too many emojis? Sus?
I guess that's supposed to be. It's hot. Marco Rubio, good job, Pete, and your team. Mike Walls, the team in Mall did a great job as well. Stephen Miller, street work, all, I guess,
a double space between job and ass. So it was a job, an inside job.
Be great work, powerful start. So you've got this level of communication. What is amazing to me is how do you have, and you should know, because you just alluded to the work that you did under the Obama administration, when you're pulling together plans to, level bombs in another country. is the go-to, let's get on a group chat and talk it out, or is it to go into a skiff or some other security
He's a follow-up
location?
Thank you.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. You go to a skiff, you go to the White House Situation Room, you go to the skiff that has been constructed in your home to protect these communications. That's where you conduct it. Even if you're on the road or you're in an airplane, heck, we had Secretary Kerry on his
So now you don't want remote work.
Yacht out in the waters off of Martha's Vineyard, coming in over secure communications to a National Security Council meeting with President Obama.
This is a 1 million IQ plan to make people go back to work in person.
So
trust, guys. Trust the plan.
It boggles my mind
Trust the plan.
that these individuals would do this, particularly since these individuals included John Ratcliffe, who previously served as the Director of National Intelligence and had served on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who served on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence.
True. That's true. That's true. He was at Martha's Vineyard. Obama's cook was killed in Martha's Vineyard. It's true. That's also where they sent the illegals, remember? They sent the immigrants there from Texas. I think we're noticing too much.
Led the Senate Intelligence Committee, all of whom surely have received counterintelligence briefings about the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, etc., actively seeking and targeting non-secure devices that would include platforms.
Have you ever thought about it? Who's that and why is she involved with so many Democrats?
Like Signal. So, and Michael Waltz, who also served on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence and on the China Task Force while in Congress. And Michael Waltz had served in the Bush-Cheney administration, which was probably one of the most well-organized, well-run National Security Council staffs that ever existed. So he had seen how these things should be done. So it's inexcusable. It's either laziness or incompetence.
Well, or because given the background and experiences of some of the folks who are on this group chat, and the fact that, they have ties to prior administrations.
Your guess would be Martha Washington? George Washington is a founding father, and Martha was his wife. Martha Washington, founding mother, woman, feminism.
In which that level of security was always
Explain that, atheist.
Paramount in conducting foreign policy or national security activities. What does it say about this team that they're so laissez-faire about it all? That they're so disconnected to the seriousness with which these moments require their attention?
Thanks for the follow, Zinchi. Thank you.
My experience with presidential administrations, Reagan, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Bush again.
And none of those are Trump.
They're led by example. And we administration being led by a president who has clearly demonstrated a very
hold up.
Obama administration. Reagan.
Okay, hold on.
Experience with presidential administrations.
Thank you for the sub.
Reagan, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Bush again.
He left out somebody. They're
led by example, and administration being led by a president.
What about Biden? I thought he was so good. What happened to Dark Brandon?
He demonstrated a very laissez-faire attitude towards the handling of classified information, to the point where he was indicted on several charges for the mishandling of the information. So he sets a tone, and that tone has been allowed. The other thing to remember is this is an administration where Michael Waltz, as he was getting ready to come in as National Security Advisor.
Actually, listen to what he said. Hold on.
Well, when my experience with presidential administrations.
Okay, listen.
Reagan, Clinton, Bush.
Clinton, Bush.
Obama,
Bush again. Bush was the one in control of Biden.
And the laissez-faire attitude towards the handling of classified information, to the point where he was indicted on several charges for the mishandling of the information.
That's true. CIA.
He sets a tone, and that tone has been allowed. The other thing to remember is this is an administration where Michael Waltz, as he was getting ready to come in as National Security Advisor, they said that they were going to fire all of the detailed professionals coming to the National Security Council staff, the kinds of people with the expertise that would prevent this thing from happening. hearing, he was going to fire them unless they perhaps answered some questions about their fealty to the president, fealty to the policies of the president.
Okay.
So I don't think we've ever seen the conclusion of that story as to how many of those individuals actually did depart and how many were replaced by individuals without the appropriate expertise. But this could possibly be an example of bad staffing done by inexperienced, ill-trained individuals who were brought on the staff more for their loyalty than for their expertise.
Wasn't it? Hold up, wait. Wasn't this just one person who made a fucking mistake? It's like one person fucked up, and like that person should get in trouble because this is bad. But like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? It's like an entire staffing issue. Like, dude, no, you just fucked up. I'm just fucked up, man. That's crazy. Am I the only one who doesn't give a shit about this? Well, I mean, okay, so like here, I'm being serious now. Like I know I was like memeing the whole time, but it is kind of serious. Like you don't want to have an accidental, like, you know, it could have been like even worse. So the fact that it happened is a bad thing. So they still have to look into like who did it, and that's still important. So like let's not pretend that like it's not important for a person to have access to information like that, especially military information. Like that's really important that they don't make that mistake in the future. But do I think it's like this big, this big like commentary or point about what am I trying to say? Is this really like a big failure point on like the Trump administration as a whole? I don't think so. I think it's just like one person fucked up and it's bad. But you know, again, like let's not be crazy here and say that it isn't bad, right? Like let's not simp so hard for Trump and say that this isn't bad at all. Obviously, it's a bad thing. You have to be honest, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did they add the Atlantic Reporter to the group chat, or did someone leak the info to the Atlantic Reporter? He claims to have been in the group chat, and I think he has screenshots of it. Which, and here's the thing: if he doctored those screenshots, this can all be easily proven. This isn't something that is like, if he's lying, they're gonna find out that he's lying like quite easily. So I think it's highly likely that it actually did happen and that it was an accident. I think that's like the 50% chance that's what happened. I heard Michael Waltz was the one to invite him, and I was thinking maybe they gave him the wrong number on purpose because Trump hit Michael because he was a war hawk and he helped the CIA to have forever war with Afghanistan. Oh, what you're saying? Like, is this like a next level? Like they think that Michael Waltz is like going to compromise them, so they gave him some bait. They gave him some bait that didn't really matter that much as like an impetus to kick him out. That'd be pretty crazy if that's true. Thank you so much, Master Shadow. Thank you for 5 gift subs. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Wouldn't that fall back to whoever gave him the number? Well, unless that person stepped up to the plate and said, yeah, just blame it on me. Don't give a fuck. And then they're like, yeah, well, we're not going to fire you, but you'll get like a nagging at. And that might be the case. I mean, I think some people would be loyal enough to Trump to do that if that's actually the case, but I don't know, again, how true that is. Michael Waltz, Tim Waltz, almost the same name. Coincidence? True. Well, Manowar says it's possible that the journalist was never actually in the chat and the leaker in it sent it to him, the screenshots and the whole thing. I think the odds of that are incredibly low because they can find out. They can easily find out if the journalist was not added to the chat, right? So the big thing is if this is real, whether it was phishing or just incompetence, it was that he reported it and the spokesman from National Security confirmed it was an authentic message chain that they would be investigating. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is real, yes. It is real, and it was not. He was added to the chat. I think the odds of that not being the case are incredibly low.